Hey guys, Brandon and Jasmine from nerdlocker.com with your video game news this week. We have another new trailer that has come out this week for villains in the Arkham City game, this one being Mr. Freeze.
Oh yeah.
Looks
cool.
Awesome.
Right?
Cool.
It was really
Thanks,
cool.
man.
That
was a good one. But, oh man, I love what they're doing with this, and the more I see the way they're introducing these villains, I really get a feel that it's kind of going to be like the Spider-Man video games, where you have a full city, and you have the main storyline, but you're going to have side missions with everything. You're not going to have to...
neighborhood, you're going to have to fight the henchmen from that area, whoever controls that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you'll probably run into like a B villain here or there.
I really like that idea though, that it's kind of like you have that city. You know, Arkham Asylum's my favorite game ever. Yeah. I loved it, but it was very one track with the storyline. You had the Riddler clues, you had the character stuff, but it was very much you were doing something with the villains directly that led into it. I feel like this one, the sense I've been getting,
it's gonna be more open.
Exactly. So you can take down the main storyline and then clean up the city. You know, hit Mr. Freeze, hit Riddler, hit stuff like that.
The Penguin.
Oh, I cannot wait.
I want to be Penguin. I'm so bad.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome.
Freaking a great time.
So Guillermo del Toro was very excited to announce his work on the upcoming game called Insane. This is, if you don't know, Guillermo del Toro brought us Pan's Labyrinth, Hellboy, everything good, pretty much. Now he's getting into video games.
I'm such a fan of his to begin with. I love that, you know, he's very much like Tim Burton in the sense that when you watch it, you very much see his style on it. It's, you know, his sets and his designs and everything. And I can't wait to play a game that has that kind of detail to it, you know? Like, I mean, all games are detail-oriented, but I'm just excited to see one specifically designed by him.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I do see your point that in comparing him to Tim Burton, though. But in most ways, though, he's less egotistical. He cares less about. He cares less about.
I'm not. Don't think for a second I'm saying like that's. I'm. No.
No, I just see like Tim Burton is really heavy on his own work, but because of what it becomes, not. You know what it looks like. You know what how exciting it is. Guillermo del Toro creates just crazy, awesome stuff, and he's
just incredible. I love the guy. I love all his movies. It's just I can't wait to see it. And I guess it's going to be a trilogy. There's going to be 3 games, which is even cooler because, you know, hopefully the first game does well and they just get better as time goes on. Because, you know, we've all played that first game. You play the second one, the graphics are a little bit better.
Yeah.
Gameplay's a little bit better. And I guess they're going to be H.P. Lovecraft oriented, which is also cool. Monsters and all that. I mean, that's where he does his best.
Yeah, so. and I love H.P. Lovecraft. Everything he's written is just pretty much incredible. And even the readaptations of his work have been incredible.
I've heard a lot of good things about the readaptations.
And when I was reading about Guillermo del Toro making this game, and he called it Lovecraftian, I was like,
yeah,
whoa, I'm on board for this.
It's just, this sounds like something that's going to be fun, and I really hope it's, you know, something that you don't want to play by yourself at night. I love those kind of video games. I'm really hoping he brings us. And you know what? End of the day, it's just another medium we're getting Guillermo del Toro in, and I'm stoked on that.
Tell us what you guys think in the comments below.
Patent Diggers actually found a 2010 patent from Nintendo for a massively single-player online game, which is pretty much, they're saying the exact opposite of like an MMO, like Magic Online and all that stuff. They think it's gonna like revolutionize online play because you're still playing by yourself, but you're in one of those huge worlds. You just don't have to depend on what other people do.
Exactly.
And you don't have to rely on AI.
I'm not excited about this because what's always excited me about Nintendo was that it wasn't like other consoles. And that's been a big selling point for other people as well. They've actually said, we love Nintendo because it's not all about online gaming and all that different stuff. You know, it's all about what you're doing in your living room. And now, because you know their sales have been down lately, it seems like they're just feeding into that. You know, we need to do what the other consoles are doing to make more money. So that's what kind of makes me sad about this.
I think that I kind of agree with you. I think that their mindset is that they're gonna do the opposite of what everyone else is doing and see how it pans out. Like, yeah, they're not making as much money right now, but neither is Sony or Microsoft for that matter. So it sort of seems like they're just trying to do something very, very different because it's a new concept, but at the same time, it's an old concept. So
right, that's what I feel. I feel like it is an old concept that they're trying to pretend is new.
Yeah.
You know, like by calling it something different.
And again, everything's like that. There was a Move, like a PlayStation Move that came out years before that just didn't work properly, and no one knows about it. And I know I'm right on that. Don't fact check me, but I'm right.
That's pretty interesting. But I mean, in any case, I'm not excited for this new system for Nintendo. I just wanted to, you know, do stuff in my living room physically without anybody knowing. And you know, now this seems like maybe something that I won't be able to keep hidden anymore.
I have an Xbox, so yeah.
In the always popular Google Plus news, gaming was announced and implemented. It is in the system now. So,
oh, it is?
Yeah, I was checking it out. It has its own tab now on Google Plus's homepage.
I'm going to check that out.
And what I do like about it, I mean, there's probably going to be a lot of naysaying as far as games in Google Plus, just because that was probably one of the biggest selling points initially, was that it wasn't like Facebook in that way. But the games are smoother. In comparison to Facebook, there's not in-game charges, so that's good.
Really?
So, I mean,
nice.
It's the kind of gaming we wanted socially that we didn't think that we could have. So.
Oh, okay.
That's what.
I was going to naysay actually that this is not good news to me. I was really behind Google Plus, and to hear that they were going to do gaming is kind of like, so you're just copying Facebook. You're just copying what you were trying to improve on. Like.
And the difference is,
if it's better, then I'll totally try it out. I want to see it.
Absolutely. The difference is that Facebook implemented gaming initially and still does now because of ad space. They make so much money off of ads in gaming and in everything else.
Sense.
That's why they do it. It had nothing to do with users. Google Plus had no plans of having gaming in their system at all. It was by user demand that games came in the first place. The great thing that's always been about Google is that they base off all of their development off of user ratings. And so they open up their beta to everybody pretty much initially right in the beginning. Yeah. So, so that you can leave feedback and say what you want more of. So enough people got on Google Plus and said, we want gaming, that they put it in there. So
sweet.
The games are sweet. The implementation of the games are sweet. I'm kind of excited. Plus Dragon Age 2.
It's on there.
I'm for it.
Check it out.
Sony has announced that they are actually going to drop the price of the PS3 to $249.
This is good news because most of the time this means that we're getting a new model. That actually could be the case here. They're dropping the price because there may be a new model of the PS3 coming out.
That's a pretty cool thing to think about. More Blu-ray, 3D capable PS3 or something, PS4 or something.
Basically, they have to keep putting out PS3s because they're not making money in any other way. The PS3 has taken away from their Blu-ray sales, Blu-ray player sales, I should say, computer sales, everything, because it's all of that in one. So they have to keep on putting out consoles, which is good because it drops down the older one.
I'm going to get a cheap PS3 pretty soon, so pretty stoked about that.
I'm stoked, guys. Pretty soon you're going to be able to get a PS3 for $250. That's a pretty good deal.
It is. All right, that's going to do it for video game news this week. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube page. I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Brandon. See you guys next week.